The Sounds of Summer is brought to you by your local Honda dealer. Race in for a great deal on the Honda of your dreams during the Honda Dream Garage Spring Event. Accord, Civic, CRV, HRV, Pilot, and more. Take advantage of the savings and see your local Honda dealer today. Hey there once again, everybody, and welcome to the Sounds of Summer. I'm Charlie Slows, radio voice of the Nationals, as we continue to talk about this 2021 season for the Nationals. As we know, took a big turn in late July when the Nationals, who were falling out of contention, decided to make trades and traded away some of their key players and most popular players that the Nationals had in their team history, members of the 2019 World Championship Club, of course, led by Max Scherzer and Trey Turner in the deal to the Los Angeles Dodgers. But they weren't done there. They traded Yan Gomes and Josh Harrison to the Oakland A's. They traded Brad Hand to the Toronto Blue Jays. There were a host of deals, including John Lester going to the St. Louis Cardinals. Now, certainly the Nationals have struggled over the second half of the season. And from the time that they were just 2 games out of first place at the end of June, it has really been a struggle for the Nationals. They went 8-18 in July, 7-20 the month of August, and they are now 3-7 in the month of September. As we come to you on this September the 11th, of course, is a momentous day in United States history, the 20th anniversary of the attacks on the World Trade Center, the Pentagon, the other plane that crashed outside of Pittsburgh that was taken down by the members of the passengers of the plane who were being held hostage. And of course, we all know where we were on that day and what we remember on one of the darkest days in our country's history and in our lifetime. And when we say it's 9/11 Remembrance Day, it's certainly something that you will never forget. The Nationals will be playing baseball as we come to you on this September 11th tonight in Pittsburgh, and Josiah Gray will be making the start for the Nationals. And of course, along with Keibert Ruiz, 2 of the 4 players the Nationals got on the deal from the Dodgers, and they have come to the big leagues. Gray has been in the Nationals rotation since his acquisition from the Dodgers. His start tonight will be his 8th as a National and 9th overall in the big leagues this year, and he's still looking for his first win. He has had problems with the home run ball. So far, Gray has given up a total of 12 home runs in 35 innings as a National, 15 home runs in 43 innings overall in the big leagues this year. Most of them have been solo home runs, and he had kept the Nationals in every game they had pitched until the last couple of starts when he was out early against the Mets and another against the Atlanta Braves. So he's hoping to bounce back. His last start against the Braves, he didn't really have good command of his fastball, and his breaking ball, curve, and slider really didn't do much for him. So that's the first time we've seen that. That can happen to any pitcher at any time, and we'll see how he progresses now in this final month of the season. The other player the Nationals acquired of the deal, switching in catcher Keibert Ruiz, after he was acquired, went to AAA Rochester, and Ruiz fared well, hit the ball really well there as he did at AAA at Oklahoma City in the Dodgers organization, but he's really yet to get it going at the big league level for the Nationals. He missed several games after fouling a ball off his knee. We've seen him popping the ball up a lot so far, so still trying to show us the offense and the power that he had in the Dodgers organization to become their top position player prospect. But the Nationals have fared well in the other trades with players who have stepped in and played right away. Most notably, Riley Adams, the catcher, was acquired from the Toronto Blue Jays for Brad Hand. Adams has had some key hits, big home runs, RBIs so far as a National. So far in a Nationals uniform in 25 games, he's hit .317, 6 doubles, a triple, couple of homers, and 9 runs batted in. He's caught the ball well. He's thrown well when given a chance to try and throw out a runner. That's not always on the catcher. A lot of the time, it's on the pitcher. So while he was not in the Blue Jays prospect top 30, he certainly has played like a top 30s prospect since he has joined the Nationals. And they did acquire several catchers to give them some depth at that position. And he looks like he can hit the ball for power. The Nationals are also going to have him take ground balls at first to see if that's a position he could play in a pinch for them. But right now, you're looking at Keibert Ruiz and Riley Adams as the young catchers of the present and maybe the near future for the Nationals. Recently, Alex Avila returned from his 2-month stay on the injured list with those bilateral calf strains suffered playing second base in one game against the Dodgers. And it was encouraging to see him catch Patrick Corbin in his last start. Corbin, who has really struggled this year, 7-14 record, an ERA for him this year that has been over 6. He's given up the most home runs in the National League, and just trying to capture something for him as his season winds down. And in his last start, it was against the New York Mets, and he pitched well in that one at Nationals Park, and it was with Alex Avila catching him. And there were some things you could really look at that were encouraging. While he did give up 11 hits and had a lot of base runners, he made big pitches when he had to. He only had 4 strikeouts, but he only walked 1. And the home run ball has really bitten him, especially with men on base, multi-home runs, multi-run home runs against him this year. He allowed just a solo homer to Pete Alonso in the 6th inning of that game, gave the Nationals a chance to win, left that game trailing 3-2, and they eventually scored 2 runs at the bottom of the 9th inning to win it on a base hit by Carter Kieboom. And that was exciting in that game on Labor Day at Nationals Park, closing out the last homestand. So hopefully Corbin can continue on that note to try and have a strong finish in September. He has 3 more years on that free agent contract he signed before the 2019 season. And he and the Nationals have to find a way for him to be effective, to be the leader of this pitching staff going forward. We'll continue with more of the sounds of summer after these words from your local Honda dealers. Hi, this is Charlie Slows telling you to be confident in a new Honda. Enjoy the open road in a turbocharged sedan like the sophisticated Accord or the tech-savvy Civic with Apple CarPlay and Android Auto. Get rugged in an adventure-ready all-wheel drive SUV like the HR-V, CR-V, Pilot, or Passport with features like Honda Sensing, magic folding seats, and 3 different driving modes. Now's the best time to buy. Don't miss your chance to get a great deal on your favorite Honda model. See your local Honda dealer today. We mentioned some of the other players acquired in trades. How about Lane Adams, who was acquired for John Lester from the St. Louis Cardinals, and or I should say Lane Thomas. All he has done for the Nationals in 24 games is hit .314, 5 doubles, couple of homers, actually 3 home runs. He's driven in 13. He's had a couple of triples. He has shown speed on the base pass. Now he's had some base running mistakes. He's played really good center field, showed speed in the outfield and a strong throwing arm. He's thrown out a couple of runners on the bases since he has joined the Nationals, one at second base, one at the plate. So for a guy who was really an extra outfielder back and forth between AAA and the big leagues, coming from the St. Louis Cardinals for John Lester, who was also on a 1-year expiring contract. That's looked like a very good trade for the Nationals right now. He's batting leadoff. He's playing every day in center field, and has, because of that, Victor Robles, who had really struggled this year, has really been a fall off for him offensively. Late in August, was sent down to AAA Rochester to try and work on some things, and in hopes of getting back for the rest of the year. But Thomas gives them a right-handed bat with speed in the outfield. Whether he'll be a starting center fielder, whether he'll be an extra outfielder, he certainly looks like somebody that the Nationals could have on their roster for next year. The struggles for the Nationals have really come with pitching. Starting pitchers not being able to get deep in ball games, and young pitchers in the bullpen have really been asked to do a lot. With Kyle Finnegan taking over as the closer, he has done a good job for the Nationals. He has 8 saves in 10 tries. He had 12 holds when he was working in a setup role. He just turned 30 years of age, and he's gotten a lot of experience at the back end of the games. And so the rest of this year, he'll close. We don't know if he'll be that in the future for the Nationals. Either way, he figures in their bullpen mix going forward. It was a rough year for Wander Suero, very ineffective, recently back from a stay at AAA Rochester. Tanner Rainey battled injuries and was sent down to work on things again at AAA Rochester. So those 2 who were key members of the bullpen for the Nationals have been disappointments this year, but they have looked at some others. Baldonado's hard-throwing left-hander that they brought up, a guy who would making his major league first stay with the Nationals, really first extended stay in the big leagues, has shown a big fastball and no fear on the mound. So the Nationals are looking for him. Patrick Murphy, another pitcher who was acquired from Toronto, claimed off waivers, has had some really good appearances, especially on Wednesday when he had to come on for Sean Nolan in the first inning after Nolan was ejected from the game after throwing at Freddie Freeman. Later would receive a 5-game suspension. And in that game, Murphy gave the Nationals about 2 2/3 innings, really strong relief to help get them deeper into the game. However, following that up, he pitched late innings in the first game of the series in Pittsburgh, and that did not go well for him in that game. He got 1 out, but a base hit, hit batter, 2 wild pitches, really struggled in that appearance and wound up getting the loss in the 4-3 loss to the Pirates. So young pitchers are going to have inconsistencies. We have seen that with some of the others that the Nationals have acquired. Mason Thompson, they got in the trade for Daniel Hudson from San Diego. Big fastball in the upper 90s, but he has not always been able to command it. He has been inconsistent, in their hopes that they can develop him going forward. Andres Machado, a pitcher who had not been in the big leagues since appearing briefly for Kansas City in 2018, has gotten a chance to pitch in some big spots in relief and has, for the most part, done well. So another pitcher that the Nationals can look to build on as they try and form a bullpen for the future. But again, what will the starting rotation be like next year? Joe Ross will be coming back, they hope, from a partial tear of the UCL, hoping to avoid a second Tommy John surgery. Eric Fetty has had his ups and downs in the rotation all year, flashes of greatness, and then other times very inconsistent, pitching from behind, getting beaten by the big hit, and the home run ball certainly has been a constant for the Nationals, as they have given up more home runs in 2021 than any year in their franchise history. They broke the record set by, ironically, the 2019 World Championship Nationals club in that season. So hopefully these are things that the Nationals can improve on. And right now it is evaluating some of the young players that you have gotten in the trades and some of the other players you've had in your organization, like Luis Garcia, the second baseman, who has shown power at times from the plate, ability to hit left-handers really well, other times really struggled, and flashes of brilliance in the field, and also some miscues and some mental mistakes in the field that at 21 happens, but things that he's going to have to clear up, and that's certainly for sure. With the trades, the Nationals also giving Carter Kieboom a chance to play every day at third. He had faltered in 2020. We saw him briefly in 2019. This has been his chance, and last year, while he was very good in the field, he struggled at the plate and eventually was sent down. This year, he has done better at the plate than he has in the field. Recently, much better, but early on in return to the big leagues, there were some miscues, some footwork, some trouble with throws. And the Nationals coaching staff, led by Tim Bogar, who works for the Infield, has really worked on his footwork and his release of throws, especially across the first. And he's been much better now as we're into the month of September. So two very key players. Alcides Escobar was acquired when Trey Turner jammed that finger into the bag, diving into third base, completing the cycle with a triple against Tampa Bay in late June. Now, here's a guy who played on the 2015 World Championship Kansas City Royals team, but had been out of the big leagues for 3 years. And the Nationals basically went and found him at AAA Omaha in the Royals organization, and he's come up and played a very good shortstop. Now, he is 34 years of age. He'll turn 35 in the offseason. So question, can he be an everyday shortstop? He's played like it over a couple of months for the Nationals, and maybe he's a bridge to the future. But the Nationals right now at this point don't have an up-and-coming shortstop. Garcia was a shortstop coming up through the minor leagues, but he seems at this point more suited to playing second base in the big league. So some things to watch here in the month of September for the Nationals, and we'll be talking about them again when we visit you in our next installment of The Sounds of Summer, brought to you by your local Honda dealers. See you next time. I'm Charlie Slows, radio voice of the Nationals. Hey, it's Charlie Slows inviting you to check out The Sounds of Summer, my monthly recap of Washington baseball all summer long on 106.7 The Fan's YouTube page and social accounts. The Sounds of Summer is brought to you by your local Honda dealer.